So welcome to our first nature journaling session. My name is Lisa Dunbar-Solis and I'm a nature lover and artist from Australia. Today I'm going to be journaling in my fairy Phenology wheel. My wheel is available as a free download as a thank you to you for joining my community and subscribing to my mailing list. So you are welcome to use the wheel, or you may like to create your own, or you might want to do something different. The purpose of the activity is just to relax and enjoy the moment. So let's start creating. So here we are, Wonder Weavers. I've printed the wheel on an A3 sheet of paper. It's just computer paper, so it's pretty thin, and as a result I'm going to draw with a 0.1 ballpoint pen. This pen is I think it's a uni pen, fine line. It's water and page proof, which is really important. If I had printed the wheel on a sheet of watercolor paper, for example, and after drawing I decided I wanted to add a watercolor wash or use watercolor pencils, if I had used a non-waterproof pen, the ink will just run, and you'll get a nice beautiful mess. So I'll be using that pen. You can see that my wheel is really simple. Lots of journalers actually divide the seasons into individual months, but I like the idea of just having a larger space to draw in, and so yeah, I decided not to include the months. Now, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you're going to be coming into spring. So that is really, really beautiful. So you might be journaling about experiences you had in winter. I today will be actually journaling in this quadrant, so in summer. And to help me do that, I printed off some photographs. Some really beautiful experiences in Tasmania. So I have printed some photos of paper daisies, and meanwhile at home in January, trees in my neighborhood flower, and these are some of the photographs I took of flowering eucalyptus, and of course some of their friends. This is a corella. So these will just help me get my eye in. You know, I really just want to flow, get into the flow with this activity. I'm not looking for perfection. There's a beautiful, we call it the butterfly, the wanderer, but you might know it as the monarch. Rainbow lorikeet. So the purpose of the exercise is just to relax, get into the flow, and just allow yourself to tap into your imagination. So it isn't about perfection. So I'm just going to put the photos to one side. In fact, today I'm not even going to sketch in pencil. I'm just going to go straight for the pen. I'm going to treat this a little bit like Zentangle. I'm just going to draw what comes into my mind using my photographs as a guide as I reflect on my journey through summer, and I'm just going to enjoy the experience. Okay, so now that we're ready, let's jump in and draw. Okay, so I've zoomed in a little bit so you can see. And this activity reminds me a little bit of like Zentangle, like I was saying before. So I'm just going to start by just going through my photographs. Okay. Just taking inspiration from my photographs. I really love drawing eucalyptus leaves. So, and I'm going to just create a bit of a border there, drawing inspiration from the stem of the eucalyptus. And I'm not rushing the process, I'm just enjoying the experience of the pen flowing on paper. Interestingly enough, I don't usually draw with pen. I like the nib, and that's because it just flows so beautifully on smooth paper. It's a really beautiful experience. I find pen can be a little bit awkward, I think is the word I'm looking for. It can be a little bit awkward. Here, lots of activity going on. There's a dove cooing and a puppy howling. So just very carefully, being very gentle with the process. Might use branches of the Illawarra flame tree. My goodness me, it's an exquisite tree when it flowers. It's just so beautiful. I was lucky to see it in bloom this year. There's these crimson and bright red bell-shaped flowers. Absolutely beautiful. And they remind me of fairy bonnets. So I often spend time looking at the various parts of a plant and imagining what they might look like on a fairy. So whether they would look like a fairy bonnet, could they be sewn into fairy shoes? Nature is just full of so much inspiration. Just need to stop and look. If you're curious and you're catching this on replay, you might be wondering where I'm located, and I'm actually on the lands of the Karuna in Adelaide. So Australia is really, really lucky in the sense that we have our lands are home to 900 species of eucalyptus. Here in Adelaide, I have seen species that that were new to me. I grew up alongside a rainforest on the Central Coast, so in the eastern states, and so I was very familiar with the red gum, the scribbly gum, but here the eucalyptus trees are like beautiful giants, and they're just really, really beautiful. Each morning I walk and I go to visit them, and they never cease to surprise me. Always learning something new, or also crossing paths with a species that I hadn't observed before. So, for example, bird species. I've learned a lot about birds just simply watching and listening. So I walk daily as part of my morning practice. I've always loved to walk. That's why archaeology was a really good fit for me in a lot of ways. It really helps to kickstart my creativity, and if I'm suffering a little bit of a block, with my writing or with my drawing, going for a walk really helps. So as you can see, I've got lots of beautiful photos of the Illawarra tree. I spent a lot of time over the summer visiting the trees located close to my home. I'm going to put butterfly. So I'm not really concerned with making anything perfect. Or getting them exact, and that can be a bit of a barrier for me sometimes. As an archaeologist, I learnt to draw technically, and it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes. The mind just wants to, or gets very chatty, telling me it's not accurate enough. But that's part of my practices has helped me deal with my inner critic And yeah, it's important to grow awareness around that. So and not let it stop you from moving forward. Just putting in one of my little friends. These guys are super cheeky. The lorikeets absolutely love fruit. And this year they really they enjoyed a big feast in our fruit trees. So as a result, we ended up losing. Well, they ended up eating most of the fruit. I have a glorious song. They're such a beautiful bird. I always feel very happy when I see them. So as you can see, there's no order in this. This isn't laid out chronologically. I'm not even thinking about structure. I'm just having a play. I'm filling in space, just like you would when you Zentangle. You know, you just allow yourself to move with feeling and listen to your intuition. And that's really, I think, the power of this exercise is, you're just allowing yourself to stop, play, and listen. I love this. So I'm going to add some of this. Add some beautiful paper daisies. So, great thing I love about the pen is you can just play with different strokes. I thought I might add some little folk. So see who comes. Just gonna very intuitively. I love the gum nut fruit. Always thanks to May Gibbs, I always see little folk wearing them with hats. And I really love this idea of doing a bit of a flower bonnet there. Someone's out in the garden mowing, which is nice. So yeah, just putting little friends wherever. I'm really not worried about whether they're anatomically correct. I just want to just let loose and play. Sometimes we can feel really, sometimes I get a little bit nervous when I draw people. So it's always good to just, as a warm-up, just allow your pen to play, and I find that helps to bring character to my lines as well. Drawing every day is really important, so, and using reference photos can really help, but you don't want to get married to the images. You just want to use them as inspiration and then allow your imagination to come in. So I'm just mainly keeping my little folk simple, mainly too because it's so tiny. Okay, so I think at that point I'm going to stop, and I could add some colour. I think so. I coloured in this wheel with just a Faber-Castell pack. I'll just see if I can find it. So I could colour them in if I wanted to, but I might just sit with that for a while. At the bottom of the template, I'm just going to right there. So thank you for joining me today for this short journaling session. I hope that you found it relaxing and calming, and that you enjoyed capturing your special moments in nature. I'd love to see what you create, so please share with me in our private Facebook group, The Nest. I can't wait to connect with you again, and take care, stay well, and many blessings to you.